Baker, a mechanic for the Le Mans winning Écurie Ecos teams and a friend of David Jaguar's, drove the D-Type to Toronto to arrange a sale to Jim Cato of Ontario. Cato employed a British mechanic named Alistair Smith, who prepared the car for further racing and entered it at Mosport Park in June 1963. During the race, Smith was tragically killed during an off-course low-speed incident as XKD 403 reportedly turned on its side on an embankment as he tried to exit the car. The owner garaged the Jaguar indefinitely, ultimately resulting in 17 years of storage. XKD 403 returned to the track. In 1980 the Jaguar was removed from storage and sold to Godfrey Miller of Canada, and he arranged the sale to the renowned marque specialists at Lynx Engineering in England. Principal mechanic Chris Keith Lucas, soon to be a recognized niche expert in his own right, restored the otherwise complete D-Type, and notes of his recollections of XKD 403 as an amazingly unspoiled time-warped car are included in the car's documentation. Following refurbishment, XKD 403 was sold to Jim Wallace of Sevenoaks, England, and he used the car at events on occasion while retaining possession for 14 years. In 1995 the D-Type was purchased by Robert Cooper of Gloucestershire, and he continued to sparingly use it, most significantly attending the Jaguar factory cavalcades to Le Mans in 1996 and 1997. In 1999, OKV2 was sold to marque expert and historian Terry Larson of Mesa, Arizona, whose first drive in the car was racing it at Goodwood. Larson put over 20,000 miles on the car in numerous tours and races during his ownership. Jaguar's chief development test engineer for 34 years, Norman Dewis also raced the car twice at the Monterey Historics. Terry assembled the vast trove of paperwork, including a number of original factory documents and letters. During 12 years of care, Larson used the D-Type at numerous tours and races, including the 2000 Copper State Classic, the California Mill in 2000 and 2002, the Wine Country Classic in Sonoma in 2000 and 2003, as well as the Monterey Historic and Prehistoric races on several occasions. The Jaguar also participated in the C-Type and D-Type tours in Arizona no less than a dozen times. Perhaps the apogee of Larson's ownership transpired in August 2010, when the D-Type was presented at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance as part of the year's Jaguar celebration. Purchased in 2011 by the consignor, OKV2 has continued to enjoy use at events such as the 2013 Wine Country Classic and the 2015 Monterey Historic races. XKD 403 is one of 5 works cars built in 1954 and is undoubtedly one of the most actively raced D-Types of them all, having campaigned in at least 55 races during the 1950s alone, including 24 podium finishes, of which 5 were overall victories. As the workhorse for D-Type development, this car has been driven, in practice or competition, by 16 of the factory's most legendary drivers and associated privateers, including Sterling Moss, Peter Walker, Mike Hawthorne, Duncan Hamilton, Jack Fireman, Peter Whitehead, Ken Wharton, Bob Berry, Jimmy Stewart, Desmond Titterington, Don Buman, Peter Blond, Ivor Bueb, Norman Dewis, Ron Flockhart, and Ninian Sanderson, the who's who of Jaguar racing. Having been extensively raced by Jaguar and then retained by the experimental department for further testing and development, XKD 403 is presented in exceptionally authentic condition from when it left the factory in 1956. This remarkable D-Type is a veritable cornerstone of Jaguar's competition history. OKV2 benefits from a deep file of research, including factory documentation, the 1954 Le Mans entry forms, personal notes from Norman Dewis and Bob Berry, hundreds of period photographs, and FIA papers. Prospective bidders are encouraged to review the extensive documentation prior to the sale as well as to inspect the car on site in Arizona. The car is also accompanied by a spareworks engine with correct track markings. As recounted by feature articles in magazines such as Jaguar Heritage, Classic Cars, and Jaguar World, This legendary racing D-type has been fastidiously cared for and maintained by some of the most significant names in the Jaguar niche. The X-Moss 1954 Le Mans D-type would crown nearly any automobile collection, commanding the attention of Coventry enthusiasts and sports car aficionados worldwide.